Hey, welcome back, you guys, to Impact Math. Alrighty, we're gonna be doing some eighth grade. I got middle school up tonight, so I'm gonna focus on eighth grade, and then you guys will get to vote if we're gonna do sixth grade or seventh grade after that, okay? So it says solve the formula for the blue variable, okay? So it has, let's start with number one, D equals RT. What do you guys think? How can I get T by itself? What do you guys say? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in.
I can go back up first.
Welcome in. So how will we get T by itself? Does anybody know? Ooh, that said divide. Yes. Ava, divide by R. Excellent, you guys. Yes. Whenever two letters are next to each other, they're multiplied together. And to undo multiplication, we would have to divide both sides, where the R's would cancel here. And so we would have D divided by R equals T. And that is T by itself. So we solved for it. Perfect. All right, let's hit up number two. Thank you for all the follows and the double taps, you guys. I really appreciate it. And let's keep on going. Number two. So P equals A plus B plus C. Okay, JX said subtract. I love it. Okay, so how can you do a linear equation question? Hey, can you do a linear equation question? I'll see if I have it up. We'll see. I'm not sure. I know I have eighth grade math. So I know it's like solving for y. So that might be linear equation. And then we have some exponents, evaluating. So that's what I have for eighth grade. So I'm doing more indices or exponents for eighth grade, okay? And scientific. All right, so for number two, I love it. You said subtract. So we want A by itself. So I'm going to subtract B to this side, okay? So B's cancel. Now remember, these are not like terms. So we just do P minus B equals A plus C. Now again, remember, I want A by itself. So how do I move a positive? Subtract C to both sides. This cancels. And remember, none of these are the same letter. So we just literally write them right next to each other. P minus B minus C equals A. And if this is what you got, perfect. Great job. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the follows, you guys. Thank you. All right, let's do number three. Okay. So it says E equals MC squared. Okay, we want M by itself. What do we do next? Like, how do I get the M by itself? Okay, I see multiplication. Oh, somebody's crying. Oh, divide. Yes, Tammy. Love it. Oh, people are saying square root. But remember, this says solve the following formula for the blue variable. So if I just want the blue variable by itself, remember, these are multiplied together. To undo multiplication, I would divide both sides by C squared. This C squareds cancel, and I'm left with M equals E divided by C squared. And this is my answer. Now, I do not have to square root here because what it's asking me for is to solve for M. So if you did square root, it wouldn't be wrong, but it would just be a lot of more steps, like way too much, okay? So let's do number four over here. Okay, this is a common, like, it's like, oh, yeah, of course, right? Like when we look at it, but when we first see it, this trips up a lot of people because it's like, okay, what do I do? So does anybody know how... Oh, somebody said it. Reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal. We can do that. Or we can multiply. We can do this in two steps. So I love how people are saying multiply. And why they're saying that is because this bar means division. So we have to do the opposite. So I can either multiply by the reciprocal or I can multiply by, I'm going to do this in two steps. I'm going to multiply by what's in the bottom, the denominator, okay? And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So these V's are going to cancel. And now I have VD, okay, times equals M. Well, I still need this V by itself. So then I can what? What can I do to get V by itself? Does anybody know? Thank you for all the follows and the shares and the double taps, you guys. Good. I see divide, divide, divide. Yes. Whenever two letters are attached, they're multiplied. How do we undo multiplication? We divide. So we divide both sides by D. And we're dividing by D because we want the V by itself. The V was in the blue. So we're going to do M over D. And this is our answer. Okay, good, good, good. Yep, V equals M divided by D. Excellent. All right, this is a little step up. Okay, yeah, I have exponents coming up, so stay tuned. What do you guys say for number 5? How will we start? How will we do number 5? Where should we start? We're solving for V on this one, the blue letter. Multiply by B, multiply, improper fraction. Okay, I love the multiplication. I love that, okay? But what we're going to multiply both sides by is the letter in the bottom. Good, yes, multiply by H. Yes, because the problem is we want to get rid of this H in the bottom. So if we multiply by H over to this side and we multiply by H on this side, these H's cancel, okay? Why do they cancel? Because remember, this was division. To undo division, we do multiplication. So H divided by H goes to 1. So now we have HB equals 3, and I'll keep it in blue, 3V, okay? Now I want the V by itself. We have one more step. What do you guys say? Some people said times, divide 3 by both sides. Excellent, Paige. Yes, we're going to divide by 3 to both sides. 3 divided by 3 cancels. And we have HB divided by 3 equals V. And this is solving for variables, okay? Solving for variables. All right, so let's go to the next. Okay, so this is so important, you guys, my middle school, 8th graders. You're going to do this a lot when you get to 9th grade freshman algebra class. Let me tell you, okay? So this is an equation kind of almost in standard form, okay? Because you got the X, you got the Y, and then you got the letter C, okay? What we want to do is we want to solve for y. So we want to write something in y equals mx plus b. That's the form. And this form is called slope, intercept, form. Okay. All right. Good. JW said minus 1/3 x first. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Good, you guys. Okay, so this is positive, right? This is a positive 1/3. So to undo a positive, we have to subtract 1/3 x. And we're going to do that to both sides. So I'm going to write it over here, 1/3 x. Now, this all cancels. This goes away. So the only thing I have left on this side is a y. So I'm going to drop that down. Now, you guys, this is very... okay, are we going to get it tonight? What do we do with these two? Can I combine these? That's my first question. Can I combine these? Yes or no? What do you guys say? Can we combine these?
Mommy, can you turn on the living room light?
You can.
But it's not turning on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Give me just a second, okay? Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay. These are not like terms. One has an X, one doesn't have an X. So these are not like terms. So do not start doing, just because it's on this side, do not start combining those. What you have to do is you have to write -1/3 X. And since this is a positive 4, we put +4. And this is called slope-intercept form. We have our y equals mx plus b. Okay. Yep. So that's what, so this is y equals mx plus b form. Okay. All right. It's stepping it up even a little bit more crazy, right? We got the 3x and we got the 1/5 y equals 7. Okay. What do you guys want to do first? Move 3x. Perfect. By subtracting. I love it. Yes, I didn't get to catch the username, but you were right on it. This is a positive 3x. So we have to do the opposite by minusing 3x to both sides. So we're going to minus 3x. And we have 1/3 y equals, okay, again, can we combine these? Are these like terms? I hope your brain is saying, no, 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 no. Okay, this has an X. This does not. So what do? We write these right next to each other. -3x plus 7. And why we're saying plus, because this 7 is positive. Now, okay, this y is still not by itself. So what do? Okay, somebody said divide by 1/3. Now, those who are saying divide by 1/3, technically you are 100% correct. But like Money said, I love it, I love it, I love it. Money said, Noelle said, yes. Alicia said, yes. Multiply by 3. Now let's talk about this. If we multiply this side by 3, then we have to, if what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So I have to multiply this by 3 and multiply this by 3. So what is 1/3 of 3? Well, 1/3 of 3 goes to 1. So it would be 1y, because 3 times 1/3 is just 1. So -3 times 3 is a -9x plus 7 times 3 is 21. And this is your beautiful slope-intercept form. Yep, Hope said multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply by 3. And then we're going to do, let's do number 3. So hold on, sorry, you guys. Okay, so look at number 3, and then let me. Not my baby. No. Okay, here. Go ahead, eat in here. Okay, get your noodles. Eat them in here, please. Okay. And remember what Mommy told you. Thank you. All right, I'm back. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so 6 equals 4x plus 9y. So I want to solve for y. So if people were saying move the 4x, you were 100% correct. We're going to move this positive 4x to the other side. So we're going to minus 4x to this side, okay? So I hope you're getting the pattern in this. You always move the x because you're always trying to get the y by itself. So now, remember, these are not alike. We cannot combine this. So we would say 6 minus 4x equals 9y. Oh, somebody said read the comments. Oh, did I do something wrong? Go back to 2, bro. Go back to 2, bro. Okay, let me go back to 2. So we minus 3. Oh, sick. I see it. Thank you. This is 1/5, not 1/3. Wowzers. Thank you, you guys. So this is a fifth. Let me change this to a 5. Oopsies. So this is a fifth. So then instead of multiplying by 3, we're going to multiply each by 5. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, you guys, so much for catching me. Yeah, thank you. So we multiply by 5. This is 1/5, not 1/3. Okay. So still, this would cancel out because 5 divided by 5 goes to a 1. But this is going to be a little bit different. So a negative 3 times 5 is a negative. Oh, that pins out. Okay. It's a negative 15. Thank you. Negative 15. And then 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, so 35. Thank you, you guys, so much for catching that. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's go back here, okay? Okay, are we all good on this? So everybody understands? I wrote 1/3 here instead of 1/5. Okay, so that's where, that's where my mistake was, okay? All right, so now let's go here. So we have 6 minus 4x. And then what is the last step? How do we get y by itself? Does anybody know? What is the last step? Good. Somebody said they're learning this in algebra. Good. Divide by 9. Yes. So we're going to divide this by 9. We're going to divide this by 9. We're dividing each thing by 9. Now, depending on if you can use a calculator or not, we would just simplify this. Like I just tell my kids to simplify. So what do 6 and 9 both have in common? They both can be divided by 3. Okay. So 6 divided by 3 goes to 2. And then 9 divided by 3 goes to 3. Okay. Minus the 4, it's an even and an odd. They have nothing in common. So you just put 4/9 x equals, these 9s cancel out and you're left with y. And this is our answer. Okay. In fractional form. Yep, can't be simplified. When you have an even over odd, that's all it is. Okay. So let's do a couple of more. Alrighty. Okay, now let's look at this first one. It says solve the equation for y. So we're still solving for y. Now, does everybody see what this thing is here? Does anybody know what this is called? Thank you. Does anybody know what this thing? Good. Naya said pi. Yes, pi. And so I don't want you to get this symbol and think like, oh, we can't do it. Thank you, Dan. This is just a number. Okay, so this symbol pi is just a number. It's 3.14. It goes on and on and on forever. Okay, so this is pi. Again, when you're solving for y, you always want to move what do you want to move first? I'm going to ask you guys. What do we always want to move first when we're trying to solve for y? Oh, thank you, Driven Mac. The y or the x? Which variable? Am I moving the y or am I moving the x? Good. G said 7x. We always move the x first. So how do we move a positive 7x? Thank you, Lexus, for the roses. We're going to minus 7x to both sides, okay? So this cancels. Now, remember, since this pi does not have an x, we cannot combine these. So we can write this as pi minus 7x equal to what's left on this side? Negative 2y. Okay. Now, what is our last step? We want y by itself. Does anybody know what our last step is? Ooh, thank you for the pumpkin. Good. J Sauce said divide by -2. Yes, Katie, I see you. Yes. We're going to divide each one of these by -2. Thank you, Jay, for the rose. Divide by -2. So this cancels and we're left with y equals. Now remember, we have an odd number by even, so we can leave this, okay? Or we can do it in decimal form, but I would rather not. I will rather not take out the calculator. Let's just leave it in form. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So we get 7 divided by 2x, okay? And then a positive divided by a negative is just a negative pi over 2. And we're going to leave this crazy looking stuff just like this. Why are we leaving it just like this? Because again, remember, what is it asking you to do? It's asking you to solve the equation for y. We don't care what this looks like as long as we have y by itself. I mean, we kind of do, but we need y by itself. Okay, I saw somebody say check my email. Thank you, because I did mean to say I have been, I've been like running with my head chopped off, you guys, like just to be honest. I have grades due. I teach semester long classes in a quarter. So this next week we have finals. So sorry if I haven't been responding to emails. I do plan on responding to everyone by Friday because I have my whole next like month schedule available, what days I'm going to be working, tutoring and all that. So if you haven't heard back from me, I'm sorry. I do apologize, but it's been crazy. Like I'm teacher, mom, all. So I am planning on responding to whoever emailed me, okay, this Friday. Okay, so thank you for your patience. Alrighty, so let's go to number 2. Let's do number 2. So we have 4.2x minus 1.4y equals to 2.1. Again, what do we move first? What variable do we move first? The y or the x? Good. Harper said the X. Hello Kitty said the X. Yes, and I love said minus 4.2x. I love it because this is a positive. So we have to minus 4.2x to both sides. 4.2x. Perfect. This cancels. So what's left on this side, don't forget that sign with it, is a negative 1.4y equals. Now, these are not alike. So I'm going to write my x first, negative 4.2x. And this is a positive 2.1, so I put plus 2.1. All right. What do we do next, you guys? Oh, I'm sorry this triggers you. I know they make it so complicated when they do decimals, fractions. They do it on a whole nother level. So we divide. Tinker said divide. Yes. So we're going to divide each number, each term by what's with the y, which is negative 1.4, negative 1.4, negative 1.4. And so now I'm going to take out the calculator, okay? So let's do this. So we have 4.2 divided by 1.4. Now, you guys see how I didn't put the negatives? Because a negative divided by a negative is always a positive. So I know it's going to be positive 3x. And then I'm going to do 2.1 divided by, and this is a negative, so I'm going to put negative 1.4. And let's see what we get. We get negative 1.5. And this is our beautiful slope-intercept form. Okay? And so my 8th graders, if you are on tonight, please, please let me tell you, this is so crucial when you get to Algebra 1. Yep. As people are saying, my brain hurts. I know. Trust me. But we do this like the first whole semester. It's just moving the X back, moving the X, moving it back. So if you can get really good at this in middle school, when you get to freshman, like when you get to your Algebra 1 class, this section will be so easy for you. But if you can master it in 8th grade, that's the important, okay? They're just going to add some vocab to this. All right. Let's do number 3. Okay, let's do number 3. So, what do I do first? What do I do first? Remember, I'm solving for y. Okay, move the X, move the C, add. Add. Zealous said add 1.5 X. Yes, we want to get this over here. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus. So I'm going to add 1.5 X to both sides. And does everybody see how I'm not directly putting it under here? Because I feel like when you put something under, you get so used to just like doing the math. But I'm telling myself, these are not alike. So I don't want to put this directly under here. Like here, I did this because I didn't have no room. But when I have room, I'm like writing them far away because I don't even want to trick my mind to combine these. So we have 6y. We're going to drop that. Equals. Now, these are not alike, so we just write them right next to each other. 1.5x, this is a positive 8, plus 8. Good. And now, very last step, I want y by itself. How do I get y by itself? Thank you so much for the double taps and the shares and the follows, you guys. And the gifts, I really, really appreciate it. Good. People are saying divide by 6. Divide. Excellent. Divide this by 6. Divide this by 6. And divide this by 6. So we get y equals, okay, let's do 1.5 divided by 6 gives us 0.25x. And then 8 divided by 6 gives us plus 1.3 repeating. Okay, with a little repeating sign on top. And that is our beautiful answer. Okay. Ooh, do we have some great questions? Has anybody got any questions in the comments on this? Good. I'm glad 4K thinks it's easy. Good. Okay, let's get into exponents. Let's do it. Okay, so here we are. It says write each expression using exponents. All right, so how will we write this as exponents? Does anybody know how we write these two as an exponent? Thank you for the rose. Okay, Raiden said, nope. Good. Taylor said negative 7 to the square. Yes. So when you're dealing with exponents, you're looking at how many bases do you have. So how many negative 7s do we have? Well, we have 2 negative 7s. So we can write negative 7 to the squared. And let me explain why these parentheses are a must. Let's talk about it over here, okay? So, is negative 7 squared the same as negative 7 squared? Let's get a poll. Let's get a vote. No or yes? I saw a no first. Okay. Yes. Okay. No. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about it, you guys. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you. Okay. So if I write this, what this exponent's telling me is I have a negative here, and then I have a 7 2 times. Okay, because this is 7 squared. This negative is not attached because it's a negative and then it's 7 squared. So it's 7, 7, and then a negative. Versus here is a negative 7 times a negative 7. These are two different things. So let's see. A negative times a negative is a positive, and we get positive 49. Versus here, we have a negative 7 times a 7, and this gets us a negative 49. So these are not the same at all. And this is what confuses people a lot. But the squared is only attached to the 7. So that's why the negative just stays in front and the 7 repeats here. But here, the squared is attached to a negative 7 because of the parentheses. And so you have 2 parentheses. Thank you, Ask, for the rose. So if I did not put these parentheses and squared, my answer would be wrong. I know he's like, I know. In my head, I'm like, what? This is so tedious, right? It's so tedious. But if you understand this, and especially when you make it to money, right? I don't want no negative $49 in my bank account. I want $49 in my bank account. So that's why a negative does affect, okay? Like, I want you guys to understand that, okay? Because some people are like, oh, it's just a negative. But what does that negative mean? Like, if you in the stocks, okay, we in a negative market and ain't nobody getting it, okay? I'm like, they said, keep on investing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to do what it do. So now, how many 5s do we have here? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we write 5 to the 4th power. Okay. And this is exponential form. Okay. So let's try this one. Let's try number 2. Let's look at the first 2. Let's look at this letter here. How do we write this in exponential form? Ooh, Lil said n squared. Oh, Lil gave it to us all. So n squared, because we have 2 n's. I have 2 p's here. P squared. And then r what, you guys? R what? Yes, Sophia said r cubed. Yes, Gabby. Yes, to the 3rd. Perfect. Yes, good, you guys. And let me explain, like, you might see this in the comments. So some people are putting this little thing right here, right? What that tells me is it's to the power, okay? And let me explain how you'll see that on the calculator. So if you get to use a TI instrument, you'll have this right here. So does everybody see that caret? And so let me show you what it would look like. So if we did 7 squared, and I put 2, see how it makes it an exponent? So whenever you want to show like a power, you can use this symbol as a power, making it cubed. Okay, so I wanted to show everybody that because some people might not know. So now, okay, we're going to evaluate each numerical expression. Okay, so we're going to evaluate this order of operations. So what is 3 to the 4th power? What do you guys say 3 to the 4th power? Hi from Peru. Do you guys have good weather out there? We had our first little snowfall in Wisconsin, you guys. And I'm like, I'm not ready. Okay, I see. Oh, let's talk about this. Okay, 3 times itself, 4 times. I love it. Okay, it never, okay, let me say this again. It never means 3 times 4. No. This 4th power means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. This power tells you how many times you're going to multiply it to itself. So it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. What is 9 times 9? 81. Okay, it's 81. Yes, it's 81. Okay, now, we got to go here. We have to do this exponent. So remember, this is parenthesis negative 4 squared. Can you guys tell me what negative 4 squared is in the calculator? Negative 16. Okay, R said 81 minus 16. 16. Good, 16, 16. Because remember, this negative 4 is times negative 4. Well, a negative 4 times a negative 4 is 16. So I'm going to put 16 here. But we have this minus sign that we have to drop down. So then we're going to do 81 minus 16. And what does that give us? What's 81 minus 16? 65? Okay, so somebody says 65. We agree? 65? We getting a lot of 65s? Do I have to put it in? Hey, Carlo. Okay, 65. I'm going with 65. I'm trusting y'all. 65. Perfect. All right. And that's our answer. Okay, so now it says, number 4, evaluate x cubed minus y squared if x equals 2 and y equals 3/4. Okay. So whenever you get something like this, you want to plug this number 2 in for x. Okay. And then you want to plug in this 3/4 wherever you see a y. So we're going to put this 2 in place of x. So we're going to do 2 to the 3rd. Okay, because I'm getting rid of the x and I'm placing the 2 in place of the x. Okay, minus, now I look here, I see a y. What number did they tell me it was? It's 3/4. So I'm going to put 3/4 to the 2nd power. I'm replacing, plugging this 3/4 in place of the y. Now, okay. What is 2/3? What is 2/3? Can I get some answers in the comments? Good. Gianni said 8. Gia said 8. User said 8. I love it. Yes. Butterfly said 8. Because remember, this is 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Bring down the 2 that we didn't use. Okay. Because that went to 4. Bring down that 2. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Perfect. Now we have this 3/4 to the 2nd. Oh, thank you for the rose, hun. Thank you. So 3/4 to the 2nd. Ugh, right? Okay, I never liked 3/4 until I started thinking about it as money. Let's talk about it as money. Now remember, a 1/4 is a quarter. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts, you guys, Aaliyah and Risk. Thank you. So 1/4 is equal to a quarter, which is 25 cents. If I have 3/4, good, I see it. Yes, you guys, you know where I'm going. Okay, let me do it for the rest of us who are in here. So if I have 3/4, you guys were putting it in there, that's 75 cents. Okay. Oh, we got to be careful. Oh, we got to be careful here. Because really, are we doing 75 cents plus 75? Or are we doing 75 cents times 75 cents? Maybe we shouldn't have done it this way. Really, we're timesing, which is different. Yeah, we're timesing. We're not adding. We times them. Because remember, just like we did here, we did 2 times 2 times 2. So we're going to do 0.75 times 0.75. That's kind of the harder way. So we're not going to do it that way. That's a terrible way, right? So we should just do 3/4 times 3/4. This is a better way in this case. Not looking at it as money because I'm like 75. Well, unless you're really good, what's 75 times 75? But that's too much for my brain right now, okay? So what's 3 times 3? We would get 9. And then 4 times 4 is 16. All right. So we got 2/3 is 8. And 3/4 is 3/4 times 3/4, which is 9/16. Now, this is where we go back to, I think you guys do this in 7th grade or 6th grade. One of these. What's 8 minus 9/16? Oh, this is a lot. Should we use a calculator or should we do it by hand? Let's take a vote. Calculator or by hand? What do you guys say? Calc or by hand? Hand. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of hands. Hand. All right, we're going by hand. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to write it over here because we need some space. So we're going to do 8 over 1. Every whole number can be over 1, okay? And we have minus 9/16. Okay. Now remember, when you subtract fractions, you have to have the same denominator. So if we have to have the same denominator, remember, we want this to be 16 as well. Well, we have to multiply this by 16, but what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So we multiply this by 16 as well. Okay. So we're going to do 8 times 16. Well, 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. And 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 8, 10, 12. So we get 12, 128. So we have 128 over 16 minus 9/16. Okay. We just came up with the same common denominator. And now we can remember our denominator stays the same. So we have 16. And then now we need to do 128 minus 9. So 128, I'm going to do it up here. 128 minus 9, okay, gives us, what does that give us? I have to borrow one here. 18 minus 9 is 9. How I look at it is 9 plus 9 gives me 18. And then I carry the 1 down, the 1 down. So it's 119. And this is our beautiful answer. Yep. 119 divided by 16. Okay. Now, some people will be like, no, you need a mixed number. But it just all depends. Thank you so much for the rose. It all depends on what it says, how it wants it. Okay. So we're going to leave it like that. And we got more to go. So let's actually get into some real exponent rules here. Okay. Thank you, Big Jake, for the rose. Thank you. So here we have 3/8 times 3. Oh, thank you, Big Jake, for being my subscriber. Thank you. And so let me tell you what I'm going to be doing for my subscribers. On Sundays, I'm going to be having where I go live for my subscribers. So if you have any homework, oh, thank you so much for my rose, Abby. If you have any homework questions, like some people are like, can you cover this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Bring them. And then I'm going to have a blank paper and we're just going to talk about the problems you guys want to talk about. Okay. If I know it. All right. So thank you. All right. So we have 3/8. Thank you so much for the rose. 3/8 times 3. What do you guys say our answer is? I want to write these in exponential form. Let's do it in exponential form. Good. 1034 says 3 to the 9th. Thank you, Teal, for the rose. So there's always a 1 right here. And what the exponential rule says, we add our exponents. So our bases stay the same. So we're going to write 3. And then we add 8 plus 1. So we get 3, 8 plus 1 is 9. So it's 3 to the 9th. And that is our simplify. Well, it's not simplify. We got to put in the calculator 3 to the 9th power. But that's what we're going to do tonight. Thank you so much for my rose. All right, so let's go to number 2. Thank you for all the double taps and the follows. And thank you guys for commenting, making this live exciting. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you. Aw, thank you, love. Okay, so somebody said M to the 7th. M to the 7th. Yes, I am. Thank you. So M, 5 plus 2. Perfect. And we get M, 5 plus 2 is 7. So if you were saying M to the 7th, 100% on point. Perfect. I'm going to try to write that as a 7. So M to the 7th. Okay, now number 3 is stepping it up a notch, right? It's like going on a different type of level. So how I do this is I break it down each step. So I look at what is 3 times 8. So 3 times 8. Oh, okay, let's talk about it. Remember, this dot means times. So we cannot add here. We have to multiply. Good. So 3 times 8 is 24. Excellent. Now I'm going to do this step by step for some people who are struggling. But you guys, 24m to the 3rd. Okay. Remember, this is a 1 right here. When you never see the number, it's always an imaginary 1 there. I have 3 m's here. So I have 3 there, and I have to add it to this 1 m that I have here. Good. Yes, Amor said 24m to the 4th. Victoria, yes. Andrea, m to the 4th. Yes. And then we have this in. I have 2 here and 3 here. So I do 2 plus 3. And this usually trips people up because since they don't see the 1 there, they always forget that you have to do 3 plus 1. That's a common error. Okay. So make it error here so that you could go beast mode on your test. So 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 plus 3 is 5. And this is our beautiful answer. Good, WT. Good, yes. Does anybody know the rule for dividing? I see some beautiful answers in there. Does anybody know the rule? What do we do with how do we get our answer? For those who were good, Silly said subtract. I love it. We subtract the exponents. So does everybody see how when we multiply, we add? So when we divide, we subtract. Okay. So we're going to do B 12 minus 5. And 12 minus 5 is B to the 7th. And that is our answer. Oh, I'm sorry, Big. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is so okay, let me do it a different way. Okay, Big, hold on. So this is saying we have 12 B's. Okay, so I can draw it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 B's here. On bottom, I have 5 B's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, B divided by B, or let's just say this. If we had 2 divided by 2, these cross out and they go to a 1. It's the same thing for letters. So B divided by B cancels. B divided by B cancels, 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 cancels. Well, how many B's do we have left? We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why it's B to the 7th. I hope that helped a little bit more. Okay. But when you're on a time test, you don't have time to write out all the B's. So that's why they say the rule is you could just minus these. Okay. Oh, thank you, you guys. Okay. So let's do a couple of more exponents. Let's do a couple of more intense. Let's get it intense here, right? Let's step it up a little bit more and more. All right. So number one. Simplify 45 x to the 15th divided by 9 to the x to the 10th. All right. Let's just look at this. What does this give me when I do this? Oh, somebody said go back, please. Hello, said go back, please. Okay. Ooh, people are putting some good answers in. Here you go. Hello. Okay. Did you want to get a screenshot of it? Good. So people are saying 5. Some people are saying 9. 5, 9. I'm seeing a lot of 5s. Okay. Yep, you are so welcome. Okay. So how we look at this? 45 divided by 9. 45 divided by 9 is a 5. Now that we took care of that, we can cross that out. Remember, what do we do with our exponents when we're dividing? You guys said it. We subtract. So we have x 15 minus 10. And if you said 5x 15 minus 10 is to the 5th power, 100% on point. Yep, team. Yes, 15 minus 10. Perfect. Yes. All right. What about number 2? We haven't done one like this. A power to a power. What do we do with these exponents? Do we add them or multiply them? What do you guys say? Add or multiply? Add? Ooh. Multiply. Yes, so I guess the person that said add wasn't technically wrong if you wrote it like this. 7 to the squared times 7 to the squared times 7 to the squared. It's all on how your brain looks at it, right? Because if you look at it like this, you would do 7, 2 plus 2 plus 2. So if you said add, maybe you're looking at it like this, which is not wrong. And it would be 7, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is to the 6, 2, 4, 6, okay? But if you know a power to a power, you multiply, you could save your work, but only save your work if you understand what you're actually doing, okay? So you could do 2 times 3. And 2 times 3 is 7 to the 6. So both ways get you the correct answer. There's multiple ways. Remember that. Oh, somebody asked, when am I going over T's exam? Yes, I can. I can do that. I can go over T's or HESI next week for sure. And I want to do some more ASVAB. I could probably do T's tomorrow night. So let's do that. Do you have a test coming up soon? Okay. Number 3. Oh, 2m to the 30th. Okay, somebody said 2m to the 30th. Okay. I'm getting a lot of 2m's to the 30th. Okay, I got you. Yes, I do. Okay. All right, yeah. I'll do a T's test tomorrow. 2m to the 10th. Add. Okay, so remember, what does this actually mean? It means when I have a 6, I'm doing each thing to the 6th power. So this 2 has to go to the 6th power. And this m has to do 5 times 6. So you guys were on it with the multiplying here, but we forgot we have to do it to the 2 as well. So 2 to the 6th power. Let's see what that is. 2 to, is it 30? Is 64? 2 to the 6th power. Yep, 64. Okay, so 2 to the 6th power is 64. So we get 64 m to the 30th. Now, let me explain why this makes sense. Hey, I don't know if more math is on, but you guys, that's another fantastic math help person as well on here. So more math, go check it out if you need help. Really explains it well. So we will write this 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll write this 6 times, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put 1 right here. 2, m to the 5th, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Because remember, this 6 means we write this 6 times. Okay. So what we're doing is we're multiplying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's how we get the 64. And then m to the 5th, m to the 5th. Remember, we add up all those. So we would do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then m to the 5th would be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 5 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's why you get this answer. I just wanted to break it down for people that didn't see the 64 here. Okay? Yep. You have to times. So I hope that helps you guys. All right. I cannot stand select all type of problems. I just don't like them. And I think I don't like them because when you have like a ACT test or a TEAS test, you don't select one right and then the whole answer's wrong. I'm like, but I did 2 of them at least. Like, come on, give me some points. That's why I can't stand select all problems for like one scored assessments, those online tests, if you guys know what I mean. Oh, somebody said TSI. Okay, I will start planning for that for next week. The TSI test for the interest, Texas. Okay, I got you. Next week. Okay. All right, so select all the expressions that simplify to the same expression. Okay, select all. Oh, you agree, more math? You agree? I gave my babies back their points when I graded. Yes. It's like, come on. It's like they did almost all of it right and forgot one. Or are you a math teacher? Yep, I am a math teacher. Yep. I teach high school math. I'm teaching Algebra 1 and Geometry this year. Yep. Aw, thank you, son. Okay. So select all the expressions that simplify to the same. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one. Okay. So again, remember, when you have a power on a power, we multiply them. So we're going to write this as x 3 times 2, y 4 times 2. So let's see what we end up with. We get x 3 times 2 is 6. And y, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so we get x to the 6th, y to the 8th. All right, let's see the next one. So again, a power on a power. Okay, so we get x 2 times 2, and we have y. Remember, there's a 1 right here. There's an imaginary 1. So we could put 1 times 2. And we get x to the 4th, and then 1 times 2 is y to the 2nd. So we see these two are not the same. Okay. Let's go to this one. What do you guys say this one is? How would you guys say this is for this third one here? What do you guys get in the chat? Oh, thank you, I am. Ooh, is number 3 the same as number 2? Let's see, let's see. So 3 times 2. So we would do x 3 times 2. And then we have the y to the 6. So 3 times 2 is x to the 6, y to the 6. Ooh, this ain't looking like none of them the same. Thank you, Pact. Thank you, my subscriber. You know you're like my second subscriber. I'm too juiced right now, too excited. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys all for the support. I really appreciate it too. Let me write it in black because it's starting to all look the same. So we got 4 times 2 because this is 4 times 2. So we get x to the 6, y. 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, I think we just see it. Yep. It's the first one and this fourth one. Okay, so far, because x to the 6th, y to the 8th, x to the 6th, y to the 8th. Now let's see about this very last one. So we get x 3 times 2, and then we have y 2 times 4. So 3 times 2 is x to the 6th, and then 2 times 4 is y to the 8th. Oh, see? See, that's what I'm talking about. What if I was on a time test, right? And I ran out of time, and then I didn't get this one, and then they jacked me up because I didn't have time to finish that. So, yes, it's the first and the last two, you guys. Aw, thank you, Paul. Thank you. All right, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. I am getting tired, and I still need to find something to eat. But thank you so much for joining me. We didn't make it all the way to how far I wanted, but if I get some energy, I might jump back on. But for sure, tomorrow, T's Test and Hesse, I'm going live with that, okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful night, you guys, and thank you.